Okay. Hello, YouTube. My name is Allie and I'm a personal jeweler. I post mostly on TikTok. That's my biggest platform, but I'm working on Instagram and others. I wanted to add this to YouTube. I get questions all the time asking me how I became a personal jeweler and how to get started in this career, so I thought this was a good YouTube video to make, and I did the question box on Instagram, and I have some good questions lined up. So I'm gonna go through and answer. So many of these questions were just how to start. What do I do to break into this industry? Is it a hard industry to break into? There were 2 questions on that. Basics on everything you need to get started. Would love to explore this, but not sure how. So I wouldn't say it's a hard industry to break into, but there's no direct way to break into it. It's very male dominated and also like family generational dominated. Like it's a very family business industry. So that makes it a little bit harder because normally people are just grandfathered in. But I didn't have any family in jewelry. When I first got started, I had no idea where to start. And I didn't even necessarily know I wanted to be a personal jeweler. I just knew I wanted to do engagement rings. That was always something that had been in the back of my mind. And I had just graduated grad school. I did like bioinformatics. I graduated from Chicago. It was a very rigorous job. Any job that I would have gone into would have been very intense, like research, and I just couldn't do that. And also I couldn't find a job when I graduated, thank God, in hindsight. In the moment, didn't love that, but it pushed me to do this. So when I had graduated and couldn't find a job, I had moved home, and I knew I'd always wanted to be like an engagement ring designer in the back of my mind. Like I really loved Stephanie Gottlieb and Nicole, the founder of Ring Concierge, like back in college. So I was like, I might as well give that a shot. And then I started posting on TikTok, which actually was originally more like luxury watch focused. And then it just kind of snowballed into being more about jewelry. And through that, I kind of started or gained a good following. So at that point, when I was trying to take things more serious, it was a good like marketing tactic for myself when I was networking with other people in the industry. Like I think were more willing to work with me, or at least I'm telling myself that because I had a good following. Before I started making customs, I was selling vintage jewelry off of like, no, I made a website. It's the website that I have right now, but I would sell like vintage jewelry off of that, and I would like source that. I remember I bought some gold chains and then had them made into like anklets and like a tennis bracelet. GIA ended up buying one of my vintage tennis bracelets. I love her. But yeah, that's kind of how I got the start in jewelry, and then from there wanted to do my own custom work because I don't know. It's definitely hard to like make a living off of just reselling things, which I know is possible, but it wasn't what I wanted to do. One of the questions was, did you do GIA graduate gemologist courses? Any tips? Yes, during this time I did do that, and it was good. It kind of just built my confidence. I am a Virgo. I love school, but you actually don't have to take GIA classes. It's not like a requirement. So again, if you don't feel like that's in your budget, or you just you're not like a big school person, I would say maybe do the retail route or do something where you're like exposed to it. Again, it's just you learn as you go. And so I should say what I do is more on the design side. People would rather make it. I don't make it. I'll get to that later because there are questions about that. But if you are someone who wants to actually make jewelry, I would recommend doing classes for that, or like YouTube videos, something, you know, like tutorials. You can find things on the internet or like rec ed classes in your neighborhood. And even by doing that, you'll like familiarize yourself with information on diamonds and stones and gold. So as long as you start, you'll like get the information you need. Don't feel like you have to take GIA because you feel like you need it, you know? Okay, piggybacking off the GIA classes, are there any classes you recommend taking? That's kind of, I was just talking about that, like, and this is a separate question, so depends what you want to do. If you want to be on more of the design side, I would say GIA is a good option. I knew I wanted to work with engagement quality pieces, so I knew diamonds were really important to learn about, as well as like colored stones. But if you want to make things, then I would definitely suggest taking a course in how to make jewelry if you can, like metalsmith. If that's something you want to do, like, we need more bench jewelers, so that would be a great job. If you like working with your hands, it reminds me of like doing research, because I did research throughout like undergrad and grad school, and even after I graduated undergrad for a little bit, so it's like the same thing. So if you like that kind of stuff and you like working with your hands and making things, that would be a really good option for you. And we need more. You'd be in very high demand. So yeah, as you can tell, there's not like one clear way, but I do think once you start, you open the doors for good things to happen, you know? Like it'll eventually work out for you. You just have to start. And I do think if you really don't know, like social media is the easiest way. Like just start posting stuff about jewelry, like informational videos. Research, like I literally would do that when I like first started GIA, and I'd like apply that knowledge to like a TikTok video and talk about it. It's like a good way to push yourself. Okay, and then I got some questions on like the logistics of everything, of what I do. So I'll go into that. Do you manually put the pieces together, or do you direct the vision, but someone else makes it? Yes, well, I direct the vision technically. So I will work with my client. I do customs, which is nice because they can tell me what they want, and I will work with them on how to do it, how to make it, help them find the perfect stone or diamond. So I do kind of like the sales consulting side, and my bench jeweler, and Mike, if you've seen my TikTok, Mike is my diamond broker, so he will get the diamonds, and then we send everything off to our bench jeweler, who makes the CAD, which is like the 3D rendering of the ring for the client to see, and then he makes it. Someone asked, so are you a consultant or a commerciant? I would say I'm more of a consultant. I work one-on-one with the clients, make sure everything is taken care of. Another question was, how do you build connections with bench jewelers and things like that? Like I was saying earlier, I think once you start, things kind of just work out. In a sense, I wish there was an easy way to answer this question, and I would love to one day like build a forum or something where bench jewelers like are listed on there, and like you can just go there and find a bench jeweler and work with them, because they're pretty low-key and hard to find. But when I was like just starting out and figuring things out, I randomly like went to New York with my friend's mom, with my friend's parents, because it was just something to do, and it got me out of the house because I was mentally ill. And I hadn't seen her in New York, and her parents lived down the street from me, so I was just like, okay, I'll go with them. And I went, I had fun. It was a great weekend. I came back, and our driver on the way back from the airport knew Mike, who's my diamond jeweler now, or diamond broker now, randomly, like he worked in the same like area that my dad's work is. So I was like, oh, that's fun. Like I'm there all the time. And he was like, oh my gosh, I know this guy. It sounds like you like want to do this, like something similar to what he has. So, and he knew I was reselling things at that point and like using TikTok for it. So he was like, oh my gosh, you should meet Mike. And he introduced me to Mike, and from there, like Mike already had jewelers. He's been in the business for 40 years, which was great. It kind of worked out that way. And again, I think it's just like speaking about what you want to do can really help open doors, because you never know who you're gonna meet. So that's kind of how I met my people right now, but I would go into jewelers like jewelry stores who I knew had like bench jewelers in the back. There's a jeweler next to my office now, and I met him before I met Mike, and he's super nice. He's like a stone setter, so he could set stuff for me. And again, I would kind of offer like, oh, I can help you with social media if you help me with this, blah, blah, blah. So you kind of gotta barter a little bit. Barter your skills and it'll work out. Are there a lot of upfront costs like buying diamonds and such for content? No, I mean, you could. I kept my upfront costs super low, and I was lucky enough to like use Mike's stuff to promote on TikTok and all of that. And like once you start taking orders, custom orders, you order diamonds for that. So then that's kind of how I advertise like diamonds on TikTok. And yeah, Mike has, if you've seen my TikTok, you've seen like he has a safe that's full of the craziest stuff ever, like 40 years of jewelry that he's just like been hoarding. Which some of it's really cool, but I've been able to like post about that. I will probably do another safe clean out soon because I've been posting it on my Instagram, so go follow me there. Just some of his stuff because it is like crazy. Like I don't have it on me obviously, but I just bought this, not even bought, I'm working on his TikTok and he's giving me this vintage Tiffany heart silver necklace and it's so cool. So it's just random like stuff like that. And obviously has like a bunch of loose stones and diamonds. So again, if you can find someone like that, then that's good. Like find a mentor who's already in the business and normally they'll have inventory for you to like show people. Okay. This question said, where to start? Seriously, to whom are you first selling? I talked about the where to start part, but to whom are you first selling? It's clients from social media or TikTok. Again, TikTok's my biggest platform, so most people find me there. And yeah, I work with them kind of in the consult role. And it's nice because I think for our generation, we don't necessarily like going to like K jewelers and and like, I don't know, buying something that's already made. There's a nice benefit to the custom process where you can get what you want and it's more customized to the person you're buying it for. So, and it gives you more creative direction. And a lot of my marketing was that my prices are really good because they are compared to like the big brands that were heavily marketed, like Brilliant Earth, Ring Concierge, have huge upcharges. So price transparency has helped me get people. And again, I like the one-on-one process because it's more of a relationship, and most of the people I work with come back or want either wedding bands or something later. Jewelry is very like sentimental and comes at milestones, so people like to have someone to talk to and work with when those milestones come up, which I love because then you're kind of building a lifelong relationship. And I like for people to be able to just call me or email me and tell me what they want and we'll figure it out. This one was funny because I literally bought, well, I'll read it. Do you need artistic abilities like being able to sketch and draw? I literally bought like a colored pencils and a sketch pad the day before this person asked this question. So no, I don't think so. Like I'm not the best drawer. I mean, I'm not bad, but I'm definitely not like, I was never like an artist. I answered this on Instagram and I said I consider myself more of a creative. So I am not like pulling designs out of my mind and sketching them. A lot is like reference pictures and like putting things together and maybe tweaking it from there, but most of the time I'm just going off of reference pictures that people send me because again, like a lot of the time the vibes are pretty straightforward, like solitaires with like little unique twists. So it's been nothing where I'm like doing very intricate designs yet, but obviously I would like to get to that point and I think that will happen naturally. But don't feel like you need to be a sketch artist to like start again, it's a useful skill and I'm working on it, but not required. Okay, this was the last question. Not about private jewelry, but do you have any insight into gemology careers? There are so many like niche careers you can do when it comes to gemology or like jewelry in general. You can design, you can be a bench jeweler, you can be a diamond broker, you can do appraisals, you can like antique roadshow, come on, that's fun. Appraisals and like auction houses. There's lots of avenues to take. Once you like start dipping your toes in, you'll find what you like and it'll be easy. So that was all of the questions. My dogs broke in and are making noise, so I'm going to log off. But I will do this again once I expand in like how I do that. I don't really know right now. So when I find a new bench jeweler, I will give you guys the tips and tricks for that. Thanks for asking the questions, and I will see you later. Subscribe to all of my other socials. I'm doing a Substack on this too. I just started a Substack. I'm working right now in real time on a Native American jewelry list and where to buy from like Native jewelers, because it's almost Cowboy Carter season and I know we need our turquoise for the vibes. And then I did like a Black History Month one for Black jewelry designers, and I'm doing this one. So yeah, I'm working on that. And always I'm on TikTok and Instagram. I have 2 Instagrams. One's for like my custom work, which is TRR by Ali, and then the Row Review, which is like my blog jewelry fun space. So check it out. And I will be back with another YouTube because I am working on my YouTube. So ta-ta.